My name is Drew Cameron. For years, I was lost in life searching for answers, with only one goal: create a strong legacy. To do this, I must become someone else. I must become something else. We're going to go into talking about the hero journey. So like I stated before, the hero's journey starts where you're Batman. You know, you have this persona where you're juggling two personas, you know, especially if you're a family man right now, you're building anything, maybe you have a side hustle, you have to juggle two things. Balance the demands of your ambitions with your personal life, merge all those things together. And that's why sometimes you have the Batman persona, as I like to call it. Now, I'm gonna leave a link in here where you can learn how to be focused in 3 minutes. That way, if you are juggling multiple things, how to focus and execute and get these things accomplished. So I know I talked briefly a second ago about Terry. Now, I don't really know if he does this anymore, but I'm pretty sure he does, because on X, if you go follow him, he's always talking about he drinks coffee so much. And I'm talking about he drinks coffee about 10, 11 o'clock at night. He's a family man, great family man. I recognize he doesn't have as much time to talk on the phone, to catch up from time to time. And I mean, that's life. Anybody with ambitions, they don't necessarily have time for frivolous chit chat, but he's taking care of a family, all his responsibilities as a man. He's in what I call the Batman persona. He's probably a little bit in the Tony Stark, which I'm gonna step into next, but he's in the Batman persona where he's wearing two different masks. In fact, I'm gonna have him on a segment so he can break down kind of what stage he's in. That'll be a good one. Like I said, I wrote the letter to y'all. I'm just coming on here, rapping and chopping it up with y'all. Like, so at nighttime, if you have a 9 to 5, if you have a family, if you have other obligations and you're trying to build a business or do something outside of the norm, then you're gonna juggle those two things. And at times, they may be two separate entities, but the initial goal right there, if you are still in that Batman stage, that Batman persona, would be to get to the next level. Transition to the new level where you're Tony Stark, Iron Man. And all of that work that you do in that Batman stage lays the groundwork for you to step into that merging of now letting people know who you are and what you're about. But so I can give you a better understanding, I'm gonna break down what I call the 4 different stages, 4 personas, unlocking your true self and becoming the best version of yourself. As I talked briefly a second ago about Batman, the Batman persona / Bruce Wayne. In this stage, you gotta handle your duties and your obligations, managing a double life. Your job, your personal goals, your family relationships, all that has to be managed. So the biggest challenge with this is time management, life separation, and personal growth. But as you master that and we transition and move forward, you realize that a fragmented life wearing multiple masks is not sustainable. So you need a desire to bring all aspects together so you can move forward into the Tony Stark / Iron Man stage. So with the second stage, the Tony Stark Iron Man stage, the real life representation of this is where you begin to merge your professional and your personal life. Think about your identities, and when your personal and professional life, you start merging the two. This involves starting a business that aligns with your personal passions and your professional roles, but being authentic no matter the cost. The challenge here would be balancing your innovation, your practicality, and that vulnerability that you may be putting in a professional setting. So to transition, to master this, you need to successfully merge your professional and your passions all together. Taking on the responsibilities of others, your kids, your wife, your employees, because you've created a business. So understanding this unlocks and embodies you for the next stage, where you're gonna need leadership and a very strong moral compass. So stage 3, the Oliver Queen Green Arrow stage, and the real life representation of that is where you balance your personal strength, your commitment to a greater cause. You have to be able to, the challenge here will be able to prioritize the common good over personal gain and navigating and managing like complex decisions, right? Like knowing when to, in my case, back in the day, not go to the gym because you have other responsibilities and obligations that although you might be able to finish your workout just in time, you won't be able to get home in time to help out with dinner, or real life balancing your commitments. Like for instance, shooting this video in a timely manner. When I wanted to shoot it earlier in the day, I had responsibilities for my family, right? So I had to pivot and push that to the end because for the greater good, my kids, my family, they're all home. They're on Christmas break and I want to spend time with them. So I need to understand and pivot that even though I want this to come out on a Tuesday, I need to make this video. I need to miss out on some maybe downtime to play my game or some downtime to watch a movie. I have to sacrifice and be willing to understand what the greater good is. I spent all the time with them. Now I got to shoot this video and I got other obligations after that. I may not be able to edit it, right? So you understand that my goals or that I want to do, they need to be put off to a later time. And so the transition to the next stage, you have to have a deep understanding of all of your actions and the consequences that come with it. So being situationally aware with your family is like the pinnacle. And this is where we start stepping into that king status, that Black Panther, Black excellence. So the fourth and final stage as a man, a leader, father, CEO, entrepreneur, head of a business, right, that you want to step in, I said the Black Panther stage, the T'Challa, the king. So the real life representation of that is a seamless integration of all the other stages, of everything that embodies you, putting all the faces together, your Batman persona, your Green Arrow status, your Iron Man status, all of that. It's waking up, recognizing like, I'm him. Everybody knows it. I'm not hiding anything. I'm being who I am. I'm being authentic. I'm being real, and I'm taking care of my responsibilities as a man, as a leader. So the challenge though, because there is a challenge at this level, is maintaining a level of integrity across all areas, all those personas, managing all of that. You got to be able to handle the pressure of being a role model, a leader, right? A coach, a trainer, an educator. You wear multiple roles and hats as a leader. You got to do it with integrity. So the transition here, there is no transition. There's no beyond, there's no next level. It's just a continual process of growth, self-reflection, and being adaptable to every situation. So with that comes embracing the antagonist within. So at times we're the villains to our story, right? I know you heard that song, Live Long Enough, and you become the villain, but not in a bad way. Not that you're the villain to society, although you might be, but it's more so if you were focused on self, you become the villain to your former self. And you're not worried about what you did in the past. You're focused on now. But you're going to have those people, opportunities where people don't recognize who you are now. So they look at you, or they may look at you, and you may even look at yourself like, oh man, I don't do this anymore. Who cares? Everything has a season. Everything has a time and a place. You got to be willing to challenge the norms. It's about being in the world, but not of the world. This is how we redefine our standards and our roles. So I used Batman, Iron Man, and Green Arrow, and Black Panther as symbols because I hope it gave you a perspective like it did me. But understanding going from Batman to Iron Man, that's not really the standard. More or less, I'm striving, and we should be striving to be more in the characters of our personalities, of accepting 100% all of your faces, all your personas, all of you. And it's important. As I've gotten older, I started resonating more with the villains of these movies. In Bane and Batman, he had a quote that said, no one cared who I was until he put on the mask. But I ask you this question, who's going to care who you are? It's definitely contingent upon when you take off that mask. Yes, you'll get a lot of questions, feedback, you get a lot of, I don't want to call it hate, but you'll get opinions. And those opinions are needed because those are close people who love you and care for you, or just people that see you on a regular basis. So when you start showing different sides of you, don't change. Let them know, no, this is who I've always been. This is what I've always thought. But now I'm confident enough to share who it is that I am. And that's what it's about the stages. I hope that I didn't lose you with the examples that I chose. It worked for me. It worked for me when I expressed this and explained this to my children. And I'm always building these systems and doing this breakdown to help them to become the best versions of themselves, like I'm doing to this day, becoming the best version of myself. But recognize that the one pivotal point that I want you to understand is with the Black Panther and T'Challa, everybody in his community, his culture, they knew he was the king and they knew he was Black Panther. They knew who he was. He knew who he was. So there's a scene in that movie where she says, show them who you are. That's what I asked you to do. Show people who you are. Stop hiding behind the mask. Take it off and be you. Be 100% you, because the right people and the right experiences and the right opportunities will come around when you remove those masks. When you 100% are yourself, your true self, you're respected, you're revered, and you're loved in all places that you go. And any place that you're not, then you're not needed to be. So the path to authenticity and your true self, removing the mask, it's a part of your evolution. It's a part of your journey. We're going from guarded and vigilant to holistic authenticity. So I know I said a lot about removing the mask and taking them off, but embrace all of your masks. Embrace every part of you so you could become who it is God has always wanted you to be. Stop hiding behind the mask. Stop juggling multiple things. Focus on what's important. Focus on doing what needs to be done, and make sure that people around you know 100% who you are. Whether you're a father, a leader, a husband, a CEO, an entrepreneur, small business owner, whatever it is, be yourself. So I've been doing a segment for a while on standards. This is going and leading into my next segment, which is relationships. But this was important to set first before that comes out, because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what stage you're on, and you don't have a true relationship with self, there's no way for you to progress and grow. You have to understand you. And the most important relationship, aside from anything else with God, is a relationship with self. But you get a stronger relationship with self when you have a strong relationship with God. They go hand in hand. So I want you to be your true self in every situation. Find the hero within. It may not be any of the personas that I just gave you, but break it down in a way that makes sense to you. Become the hero to your journey. Be the person you always wanted in your time of need. Help the people around you and become the best version of yourself. So we're going to do AR, after action review. We should do this in the military all the time. So the after action review, we're going to talk about defining our standards. Not just about understanding all these personas to become authentic. It's about embracing and participating in the journey. This is how you get continuous transformation and growth. This is how you reflect, you adapt, and you align everything to the ultimate purpose of your true self. So as you reflect on this journey and you reflect on everything I said, I want to leave you with a couple of questions that you want to ask yourself. What mask am I wearing in my daily life? And how do they serve or hinder my growth? Question number 2, in what ways can I start integrating the lessons that I just gave you in your life today? I need you to identify an area in your life where you can be more authentic, whether it's at work, in your family life, leadership. Where can you step up your leadership style? Take small but significant steps towards merging all of your masks together, but make sure they align with your true essence. Remember, what action can you take that'll get you closer to aligning to your true self today? Remember, this is an ongoing process. It's okay to set standards. It's okay to have goals. But remember, our target is more of a holistic, authentic, true self. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate everybody that's been listening and tuning in to the unload sessions that I've had. It's been a great experience. I'm going to continue with these. Look forward to next week's ATD letter that will be sent out this weekend. Look forward to next week's unload session, Tuesdays at 7:02 p.m. Share this to someone that you think might use it. I appreciate everything. Attack the day.